Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm JSimLady, and this is a Sims 4 speed build. We are in for a little bit of a long one this time. I honestly have no idea why this one turned out so long. I would speed it up a little bit more, except there are some parts that already go so fast that I feel like it would be a little bit too much. I know there are some parts that are a little bit slower. Some of that is my real-time building speed. Some of it was I was getting distracted by like whatever else I was doing, music I was listening to, or videos I was watching, or whatever was going on at the time. Some of it was that I was trying to think really hard. The first time I built this house, I got all the way to putting the windows and doors in, and I had forgotten to save, and my game crashed. So I had to rebuild this house from scratch using the video that I already had recorded to re-record rebuilding this house. So there's also that slowed it down a little bit in some parts. And I don't typically build a house or think about a house from its outside shape first. I think about the different rooms I want and where I want them and how I want them connected. And then I make the outside look good in that context. I know I'm a bit of a backwards builder, but that's just how I've always been. Back before I started making Sims 4 content, I used to build rooms by laying down the furniture first and then building the rooms around the furniture. So, like, I feel like I've come a long way since then, but I've always been a very backwards builder. It's just who I am. But with this one, I decided to start with the outside shape first because I had a house in mind that I really wanted to try doing. And oh, my arm fell off the desk. Sorry if you heard that. And so I had to, it was just the front of the house. Not even that window room on the side or the stuff on the back. It was literally just the front of the house that I saw and wanted to try to recreate. It's a pretty basic, generic, suburban type house. But I don't know. I just wanted to make it. I wanted to make a home that kind of gave me cozy vibes. It's gonna be winter soon. Our weather has taken another dramatic shift here in the last couple of days. Actually, it got really chilly, not cold, but chilly, and then it got super hot again. So hot that our jack-o'-lanterns literally rotted and are growing mold on our front porch. And then the weather starting today is taking a nosedive, another nosedive. So now, like today, it's going to get up to 65-ish, but tomorrow it's only going to get up to 48. That's in Fahrenheit degrees, not Celsius. I wish I could remember Celsius. I do. The way that Celsius works and stuff makes so much more sense to my brain, but I've lived with Fahrenheit for so long, and everything I see and whatever is in Fahrenheit, so that just comes more naturally to me, even though it clearly makes a lot less sense, like from a scientific standpoint, I guess you could say. So those are in Fahrenheit, but our weather is taking a very drastic nosedive. And so I just wanted to build a house with a fireplace that felt warm and cozy and soft, and the rooms felt small and cozy, and didn't feel too big and open. The only room that didn't work out in, ironically, is the parents' bedroom. It's probably one of the largest, for what it is, rooms in the house. It's almost the same size as the living room, which personally, I hate that. I am not the kind of person who thinks that the primary bedroom needs to be as big as or bigger than the living room. In my real life house, it's that way too, and it drives me absolutely crazy because 90% of that space, well, okay, not 90%, I exaggerate a lot, but a good portion of that space never gets used. In fact, so much of that space went to waste for so many years that we ended up turning a part of the room into like a hobby room for my boyfriend. That's how much space our bedroom has in it. It's ridiculous. And had we not have made a little hobby room within our room, because the way the room is set up, we absolutely can make a hobby room within our room. Um, had we not have done that, all that space just was a junk collector for years and years. Nothing was ever in it because it was unused, it was unnecessary is what it was. We even tried turning that room into a family room for a while at one point because we needed the space for toys more than we needed that much space for sleeping in. So for about 4 years, it our primary bedroom was actually just a family room because that's how big it is. So we had some place to put the big toys in and stuff. And then once our daughter got a little bit older and she stopped playing with the bigger type toys, we changed it back into a bedroom. And then obviously got rid of the big toys. Well, no, we didn't get rid of them. You don't want to know. Don't ask. Let's just say that I am not a hoarder. I am not. I very much am opposed to hoarding. But when it comes to my only child, I have a really hard time letting go of things. So, yeah, that's all we're going to talk about with that. I'm working on it, okay? I truly do not view myself as a hoarder. I view myself as a painfully sentimental parent who has a hard time letting go. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So there is some stuff still in the way, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, all of that is to say, I had no choice. The way this room or this house is set up, I personally cannot see any other way of putting the bedrooms upstairs and not having them turn out weird like they did. Maybe someone else out there can take the upstairs bedrooms and make them better, but I could not. I tried. I cut out so much of the building of the floor plan of this house. I left quite a bit of it in because it evolved slowly over time rather than laying the floor plan out and then deciding I didn't like it and relay it out. Like right now, this floor plan that you see right here is going to change. And the upstairs floor plan changes slightly later on in the video as well. Because I do not usually build the outside of places first. The only time and place I do that is with like the apartments in San Myshuno. And let me tell you, those are hard figuring out layouts for too. I don't really have a story for this house, like for the family and stuff, outside of I saw the front of a house I really liked and I wanted to recreate it. And then I just, like the room on the end with all the windows, that's actually supposed to be a garage. but obviously we don't really have or need garages in The Sims 4, which I used to not care about, honestly. It just seems natural in The Sims. I know we've had cars and garages and stuff in the past. Maybe it was because for the first few years of The Sims 4 I didn't really play much. And I hadn't really played all that much towards the end of The Sims 3. Like I played Into the Future a lot. But that was about it. Like the last year or so of The Sims 3, I didn't really play it. The first 6 months or so of The Sims 3, I didn't really play it. So, really, in reality, I only played for about 2.5 years of The Sims 3. It was the original Sims and The Sims 2 that I played basically obsessively from 2000 to whenever The Sims 3 was announced. What was that, 2008? Or something like that. So what? 7-ish years, 7.5 years I played like non-stop The Sims and The Sims 2. And that was basically all I played for the most part. I played a little bit here and there of some other stuff. For the most part, though, it was The Sims 1 and The Sims 2. And then I didn't play The Sims 3 when it first came out. I was actually kind of sad when The Sims 3 first came out. I didn't understand what people were complaining about, why they wanted to move on from the original Sims and get a Sims 2. To me, it didn't really. Wait, I said that wrong. Did I say that wrong? What I'm trying to say is, when we moved from The Sims 1 to The Sims 2, I was all for it. That's what I'm trying to say. I was fine with it. I was happy to do it. I was ready to move on to a new version of the game. But moving from The Sims 2 to The Sims 3, initially I was still happy for it. Initially I was fine. Initially I was excited. But then when The Sims 3 actually came out, well, there was already a lot going on in my life anyways, and I was already feeling down to begin with, and not well at the time. I was very unwell at the time. And I have chronic depression anyways. So I was primed for it to begin with, is what I'm trying to say. But it did feel like a lot to start over again. And I started to understand what people meant when they said they didn't want to keep moving on. That it got to be a lot. And it got to be tiring because games like The Sims are a little bit different. Games that have extensive expansion packs that really bring the game to life over time are different from one-off games, you know? Like, you can't really compare it to most console type games because they're one-off games. You buy the game, you play it, the game ends, and you move on with life. Like, it's not the same thing. This is a totally different game setup. And so I get why people don't want to necessarily move on. And I felt that with The Sims 3. Not quite as much as I'm feeling it right now with The Sims 4. But I definitely felt it with The Sims 3. So I ended up not playing The Sims 3 as much. Anyways, all of that is to say that The Sims 3 was the only game where it really felt important and necessary to have cars and garages. Really and truly. Like, the ones in The Sims 2 were fine and all, but they were more like activity objects, like the stuff with the restoration workshop or whatever it's called kit that we got. More like that than like actual necessary garages and cars to have. You know what I mean? And so I didn't play The Sims 3 as much as I've played The Sims 4, The Sims 2, and the original Sims. I sunk so many more hours into these other three games. The most I did in The Sims 3 was try to create my own custom world when they had that custom world tool available. And when they first made that available to us. And that's like the majority of my time spent in that game was spent doing that, honestly. Trying to make the perfect world that I wanted to play and live in was my big thing. And so, to me, it never felt like it was all that much of a necessity. But now that we're getting worlds more like this one, San Sequoia, with like very, very heavily big family focused housing and things like that, I don't know, it does kind of, there is a little part of me that is kind of like, yeah, maybe we should have more garage stuff and decorative cars that we don't have to go into debug mode to get in place. Like, what other game has them? Isn't there another game recently that added a decorative car? Oh yeah, House Flipper 2. House Flipper 2 recently added a decorative car that you could place. Like, you have absolutely no need for a car in that game whatsoever. Zip, zero zilch. Yes, garage stuff, but a car, zero. And it just takes up needless amount of space. Yet they added it because it adds that one last element of realism to the game. And so now with this kind of big family home focused gameplay, I feel like we maybe could at least use decorative cars, something more akin to The Sims 2 than The Sims 3 stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking nonsense right now. I feel like I kind of am. If I'm being 100% open and honest with you, I am having a depression episode, and I have been since around the time Enchanted by Nature came out. It's a combination of things. I'm not gonna lie. Some of it does have to do with The Sims 4 and its community, and now all the stuff with the EA buyout and everything is definitely affecting me for sure. Probably in a way it shouldn't be, but it kind of is. But a lot of personal stuff too. My body is not in the greatest of shapes this year. I'm trying really hard to get my body into a good place, but it's been a huge struggle, and I don't feel like I have a whole lot of control over it because in reality I don't. I spent a lot of time avoiding talking about my medical condition on my gaming channels. I used to talk about it on my vlog channel that I had, and then I got heavily back into gaming, and I saw other chronically ill and disabled gamers, and they just didn't talk about it. They just don't talk about it. They don't share their diagnosis. They don't, other than if they're going to be gone for long periods of time or can't participate in something, they just don't talk about it. And so I didn't. I took my cues from them and I just didn't talk about it. But in the last several months, I've been very frustrated by my body and my health. And I've been talking about it a lot more than I had in the past. And, yeah, I mean, to say I'm frustrated by my body and my health would be an understatement. I've been in a lot of pain recently, and I've been having the issues with my dry mouth that I've been talking about nonstop in almost every video recently because it's bad. It's so bad that I am in pain, like my mouth hurts all the time. But also I have scoliosis, and it's pretty significant scoliosis, and it's been hurting really bad recently. And I've been noticing other little things about my body that have not been great either. And there are just other things in my life that I won't get into here, but things that that haven't been going great, like with relationships and stuff like that recently. Um, I've just I've had feelings. I don't know how else to say it other than I've had feelings lately, and those feelings have been kind of hard to deal with. And I've been trying to sort through those feelings, and it makes for playing video games. It makes playing video games hard and making content hard, if I'm being honest. Some of it I just don't want to talk about because I can't. If I do, I'll just cry. And it's hard to make content if you're crying. And some of it I don't want to talk about because, airing dirty laundry in public and all that. Like, it's not very classy. Anyways, this too will pass and things will get better again. And oops, there's my phone. I didn't realize I was recording for this long. So, anyways, on that note, let's get back to the house, shall we? I tried to. There are lots of cool toned colors in this house, yes, but I tried to stay with like warm autumn ish inspired colors for the most part. But I wanted it to feel almost autumnal, like almost fall like, but not quite. Because I also wanted it to feel kind of cozy winter vibes too. I don't know. I just, with the cold weather coming, I either want to build cabins in the woods, or I want to build like really cozy family homes that have like small, cozy, warm toned rooms. Is that weird? I just have this need for warmth, I guess, and I need things that feel warm and cozy. And like I said at the beginning of the video, that's what I was going for, but to elaborate on that more, I was definitely going for a more autumnal, fall, winter warmth, the vibe to it. That's kind of why we have a lot of the same curtains in a lot of the same colors throughout, except for this room where I used blue. But then everything else is warm toned bedding, warm toned pillow on the chair, all of that kind of stuff to kind of offset the blue. Because the blue does kind of feel cold. Excuse me, I just ate a peanut butter sandwich. I'm sorry. The blue does feel cold, and some of the darker like black furniture and stuff, could lean cold if it's paired with certain things. And that's why I used a lot of warm woods and things like that, so that it offset it a little bit, but so that everything wasn't monotoned and green. Not that green is bad, I just didn't want everything to be in green. I wanted other colors, like the yellow entryway and the pink and blue kids' rooms. And to be honest with you, I have no particular reason why I chose the colors that I chose. I just did. I just thought that they went nice together. So it kind of feels like it flows almost in a way. Yeah, there are several different colors going on in this house, but there's also some repeating. And so it kind of feels like it flows. The only room I would say that's out of place is this one. And that's because it's like this pastel pink. But I feel like that's fine because even amongst hardcore decorators, they're fine with children's rooms being slightly off from the rest of the house a little bit as far as decorating style goes. So I feel like it still fits and works. So yeah. The other thing that I regret is the shape. I've already talked about this though, but looking back at it in the video now, like I really regret the shape of these two rooms. I literally could not. I tried so hard to find a different way to shape these bedrooms up here because I really wanted it to be a 3-bedroom house. And I really just could not figure it out. Maybe someone out there who's smarter than me could have figured it out. I don't know. I guess I could have just made it 2 bedrooms, 2 big bedrooms, but that always feels so weird and awkward and the opposite of cozy. And I really, really wanted this to be like having smaller, more enclosed rooms, not too open concept, and being very cozy, like the kind of house you could curl up in on a cold winter day. So yeah, I don't know. And yeah, other than that, there isn't really much else to say about this house. It is part of the Allpack save file. It is up on the gallery right now. I changed my privacy settings. Apparently, there was something about our EA accounts that the privacy settings have changed at some point. And so people weren't being seen and found as easily. And so I changed mine. I don't know if that's going to help things or not, but you should hopefully be able to see me and see my builds more easily on the gallery now. If not, don't forget that I also have my Patreon, and this build should be up tomorrow on my Patreon, as well as possibly, probably, another one of my earlier save file builds. I'm kind of trying to keep up to date with the newer builds that I'm making for it while adding in the older ones for it at the same time. And then once I get this one all up to date, I will start a collection for my base game only save file as well, so that that'll be available on Patreon as well. So you have 2 different ways you can find them. You should be able to find the link down below. If it's not in the description box, it's in my link tree, which I think my link tree is in the description box. Let me check because I'm not 100. Whoa, excuse me, that peanut butter sandwich, let me tell you. Yes, okay, so if you go to the description box and you scroll down, it says Find Me, Instagram, Blue Sky, More Links. It's under More Links, and then it's there. It's on my link tree there. probably about halfway down-ish. It's right near, I think, my Discord link. I do still have my Discord up and running if anyone should ever feel like joining that too, and I will add information for this stuff to that as well so that it's whatever you prefer. But right now I'm focusing on the Patreon. Speaking of the save file, yes, I'm gonna continue for now with my Sims 4 save files, the all pack save file and the base game save file. And I'll still make YouTube content for it. I'll still upload the builds and everything for it. I am not happy about the EA buyout. I mentioned this briefly earlier. I'm not happy about it. I don't like it. But, so like many things in life, I don't really get a choice in what happens with EA and The Sims 4. I put a lot of time and a lot of effort into this channel and turning it into a Sims 4 channel. It's been a huge part of my life for a few years now. And it would be hard to just end it all. Just like that right now. I don't get paid. This is not my job. This is truly a passion project for me because I enjoyed, for the most part, connecting with the community, and I truly enjoyed this game until some of the people in the community made it difficult to enjoy the game and are now saying that any of us that support the game or any EA thing, which is really weird. Do they know how many games EA makes? And do they know how many games that this other company has their hands in? I mean, even Disney Dreamlight Valley, they have their hands in that. So anybody who criticizes The Sims 4, also, you didn't know that they already had their hands in The Sims 4 for years now. But I digress. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think, feel, or say. I don't like the company that is in part buying out EA. I don't support them. I don't condone anything about their actions. But I guess it's not really a company. It's actually kind of a government. And I don't really support them that much, but I've built up so much around this game, I can't just end it cold turkey. That being said, I will be focusing more on my second channel. I'll still do this and the base game save file and my long legacy, but I'm not going to pressure myself to have videos out 3 times a week on this channel anymore. I'm going to take my time and work on houses that I truly like, and when I'm feeling up to playing the long legacy and stuff, I will do that and have episodes of that. But I'm going to mostly be playing other games on my other channel. I've been having a hard time with The Sims 4 anyways recently, and like I mentioned earlier, and then starting in August, this channel just took a nosedive anyways, so it's not doing well anyways. So that's been hard. But yeah, just know that I am going to be trying to do more regular uploads on my other channels and on Twitch. And I will do uploads on this channel for the time being until we know more about what's going on with EA and how we all feel about that when I have stuff to put on this channel. And we are now done with the speed build. Let's get into the walkthrough. And here it is, our cozy family home perfect for the coming winter season. We've got the front porch here, which is kind of unremarkable, but that's how I feel about front porches. So we've got a nice entryway, plenty of space for shoes and coats and hats and mittens and things. We have a nice console table. It appears as though our plant has disappeared. I guess your Sims will have to plant something there, won't they? Here's the backyard. Now, the backyard and back porch do have a little something, but this lot is kind of squished, so there wasn't a lot that I could do back here. But there is a little play area for the kids, a sitting area for the grown-ups, and an outdoor eating spot. So, I mean, really, what more can you ask for? Then we have the kitchen dining space. So this is a very old house that has been remodeled. I think I might maybe have mentioned that in the video. And so they kind of had to make do. And yeah, so the dining and the kitchen space is a little awkward, but it works for them. There is also a downstairs bathroom here off the kitchen, the only place they could fit it in the remodel, as well as a little laundry space. So there's that. And if we go up back by the front door here, there is another door that leads to the living and like family office space. I am very big on family office spaces. Sure, I do think adults sometimes need their own private office spaces for like working at home and stuff. But if you're only going to have one computer in the house that the whole family shares, you need a more public family office space. It's for the safety of the children. You know what I'm saying? So here is the living room, nice and cozy, right in front of the fireplace. Great for the coming winter months. And then out here, I think I also mentioned this in the speed build portion, but this is an old garage turned sort of family room, a place where the kids can hang out and play with toys and play video games and stuff like that. Lots of windows to see outside, see the neighborhood, get plenty of sunshine even when they're holed up in the house playing video games. It also stays plenty warm in here because, believe it or not, a hot chimney will heat up a room very well. Technically, that's why you're not supposed to put TVs above fireplaces or on the backside of chimneys, because they do actually get very hot. But this is The Sims. I'm sure it's fine. Now we have the sort of nondescript hallway. I don't know, hallways are boring to me, so I don't bother much with them. I have a kind of mishmash in here for the parents' room. Kind of a dad meets mom situation going on here. They've got a little bit of both of their styles and likes going on in here, which I feel is very real. Then a little sitting area on the deck here, or like balcony that they can look out over their neighborhood. Not the greatest view, considering right out that way is, I don't know, is that like a harbor or something? Possibly. But beggars can't be choosers. Sorry, guys. So we'll go here into their bathroom, and I actually had fun doing these bathrooms because these bathrooms were big enough to actually do stuff with. So I actually put some effort into kind of thinking about how they should look and be decorated and stuff. So that was kind of fun. And no, you did not see me copy and paste the bathroom because I was lazy. Totally. I totally rebuilt this all by hand, I swear. But this one is the kids' bathroom, mainly green, but then each kid gets their own toothbrush, cup, and soap dispenser in their own sort of color scheme. So that's fun. I always love when parents allow for that in their decorating. Now, the kids' bedrooms I had to be very creative with because it was hard to get a window in this room. You have to have at least one window per bedroom. It's just weird if you don't. So I needed a window in this room, but also I couldn't obviously cut off those windows. So these two bedrooms are a bit weird, but, oop, wrong button. But, you know, I think they turned out okay anyways. The kids have plenty of space to play and learn and sleep and invite friends over and stuff. So I thought that was a pretty good outcome for these oddly shaped rooms here. I don't know why I chose to go very pink and very blue. I just did. No particular reason. It just happened that way. I think that's it. That's the whole house. Okay, we're done. I actually, despite the way I sound, I actually love this house. It took me a long time to build it, and I think it turned out really nice, and I hope you enjoy it too. And if you did, I would really, really, really appreciate if you hit the like button and maybe consider subscribing. I'm really hoping to get to 800 subscribers before the end of October. And I'm very close to that. I did hit 800 for a while, but then it went back down again. So I'm really, really hoping to hit 800 by the end of October. And yeah. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. This channel is being hit hard for some reason by the YouTube algorithm lately. And so I could use all the help I can get. I really appreciate it. I really do. Hopefully you enjoyed this house. I'll be back with more houses very, very soon. Hopefully. I've been kind of struggling to build recently. I don't know. It's been hard. So hopefully I'll be back soon with another build. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, if you're enjoying my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!